Oh, I'm not in the running this week, but I'll return soon enough. In the meantime, cooking's got me occupied. I call this the Monster Mash. First I add a little Predator. Then just goes some Taurus. Taurus. Where do you think I came up with this? Then I just add a tad of Gravedigger. Just a tad. Stir it up a little bit. Now that's what I call finger looking good.
Ready for high-flying excitement? Well, you've come to the right place. Hi, everyone. I'm Luann Lee, and welcome to Monster Wars. You'll see some of the most important races of the season today. It's our last show before the finals, and everyone will be looking to improve their spot in the point standings. It was only last week that Barefoot overtook Gravedigger for first place and now holds a mere 15-point lead. He did it by putting away Carolina Crusher in the finals in Louisville on one of the toughest tracks on the circuit. But today, any one of these trucks can be a spoiler. The winning truck in today's event can earn a maximum of 50 smackaroos. So your guess is as good as mine when it comes to figuring out where these mean machines will wind up when the dust clears.
Today on Monster Wars, we're coming to you from the Colorado State Fairgrounds, and we're going to show you the big bad boys from underneath them, on top of them, behind them, all around them. We got 1 million cameras covering this event, but what we can't show you is from inside the crush cars. This perspective is different, so I volunteered to ride shotgun, and with a little help from Wayne Spozanek and Tropical Thunder, we're going to show you exactly what it's like. Hey, Wayne! Let's do it! Obviously, it's a little safer in the pits, so that's where I'm heading to cover the action. And the man who's always in safe zones, Joe Lowe, he's here with the race call.
Are they cheering because Jim's going to the pits? No, they're cheering for Barefoot and Predator, our first two competitors in Monster Wars today, and there's a Barefoot fan. Fred Schaefer and Barefoot, every win very important to him. He has a 17-point lead over Gravedigger in our World Points competition. But Alan Pizzo aboard Predator says, not today, big boy, because today I want the win.
Barefoot, my little hairy foe, welcome to Predator's Study Hour. Come, gather around. See, I've been boning up on new ways to make the little truckies suffer. And by the look of it, Barefoot, you're my guinea pig. Rah! So beware, because number 66, oh, it's a killer. Rah!
For race number 1 of round number 1, the matchup between Predator and Barefoot. Alan Pizzo took Predator to 6th in qualifying today, picked up 4 points for that effort. 10 points went to Fred Schaefer and Barefoot. The fastest qualifying time of the day, 5.06 for the world champ. And our cam inside Predator. As you shadow what these monster drivers see when they look outside. Predator was caught napping on that one, the green light, and Barefoot's across the finish line first. A quick time of 5.37 seconds. Predator waves to the crowd, but he's going to have to hope he can come back as a fast loser.
I can't believe it. This cat got nipped right out of the race. Number 66. Must have been my unlucky number. But I won't live in disgrace for long, because I've got a pretty good read that I'll be facing you again, Barefoot. And when we meet, I'll be the one who throws the book at you!
Barefoot got a hole shot, then picked up speed in no man's land, and Predator, he just couldn't catch up. The margin of victory, a full truck length. Fred Schaefer standing by with our own Jim Davidson in the pits.
Fred, you're blowing doors out there today, the fastest qualifying time, then you go up against Predator and put him away. Tell me about it.
We stayed there, and it looked like he tried to red light on me or tried to get the jump on me there. It got me a little shook up. I did a few things wrong there, but In between the cars, I was worried about the truck spinning and coming down, spinning and braking, but I got through it okay, and I'm ready for next round.
Everything dialed in?
Everything's ready. I'm ready.
Our next matchup will pit Taurus against Carolina Crusher when Monster Wars returns.
I'm the drill sergeant here, so stand at attention and listen up. Taurus is the enemy, and after I march over him on the battlefield, he'll be missing in action. Cow dung, cowgirl, cowboy, take to your battle stations. Commander Crusher is moving in for the kill!
Welcome back to Monster Wars. Our action today coming to you from Pueblo, Colorado. This matchup between Taurus, who has a new driver aboard, Mike Peterson. His brother will be driving Troublemaker. We'll see him later. He qualified 9th today. And Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher. He qualified 4th. Peterson in his first time out in Taurus going up against Crusher, and what a controversy these two have had all year long.
Yeehaw, Crusher! It's very easy to shoot you down. You'll stand out in this war like a dag-nabbed sore thumb. Or shall I say, dumb thumb. All your scare tactics might work well with your jarhead friends at the base, but this...
Don't bring my men into this, you rotten little cow-wrangling wacko. I'm the one who's organizing this war effort, not them. So, give me my respect, or drop and give me 20, punk!
Inside Carolina Crusher, they're staged on the start. We go for a ride over the cars. Taurus and Carolina Crusher head-to-head. And it's Taurus. Taurus with a new driver aboard. Edges out Carolina Crusher in a close one. On the finish line, you can see Taurus with just a half a tire length victory over Carolina Crusher. Peterson doing a great job of driving Taurus. And he'll move on as our winner in round number 1.
Crusher, looks like you lost it at crunch time. Read my lips, G.I. Joe. I'm the one calling the shots now, partner.
Our next two trucks, this is our first look at Troublemaker. Troublemaker going against Invader. Troublemaker driven by Jody Peterson. His brother's driving Taurus this weekend. He qualified 10th today. Goes up against Ray Perkowski in Invader, who qualified 5th. Now, Troublemaker doesn't run with the monsters on the Super Series. Normally, there are about 500 monsters around the country, and this guy stays mainly out in Colorado. But now he's up against Invader.
Earth to planet Extorpa. This is Invader speaking. A compressed defective molecule known as Troublemaker will soon make his way to you. He probably won't look like regular gray matter. He'll be black and blue. A word from the wise. He might burn well as spacecraft fuel. Ha ha ha!
On the starting line, let's see if Troublemaker can equal the Super Series monsters. No way! No way! Invader, not the prettiest run he's ever had, but he takes out Troublemaker easily. Invader Ray Perkowski aboard defeats Troublemaker. Troublemaker's going to have to get some more time in the saddle before he can compete against the Super Series trucks. Even a poor run by Invader was too much for him. But Invader's going to have to straighten things out to win against one of these big boys in round 2. Invader Ray Perkowski aboard. We'll see him back with Monster Wars' second round.
A weak attempt at winning, Troublemaker, and you pay the ultimate price. We have big plans for you on my planet Extorpa. Although when you get there, you might be a bit exhausted. Hey, listen, on your way up, could you pick up a loaf of bread and some milk?
Mark Bendler comes out to the track aboard Pontiac, and he goes against the most feared monster truck in the world today, the Gravedigger, when Monster Wars continues.
just love having time to do some casual reading. It's always such a pleasure to see my victims in the obituaries. They make great souvenirs, too. Ah, First Blood. He sure was a vile one. Carolina Crusher. He's so fat, they could barely fit him on the page. Kodiak. I wonder what your obituary will read. How about, he bared his soul to the gravedigger, and the ghastly gravedigger covered him up for good.
Welcome back to Monster Wars. Pueblo, Colorado, the place, the matchup in round number 1 between Kodiak, Mark Bendler aboard, who qualified 7th today, and Dennis Anderson driving the Gravedigger. He qualified 2nd, the time 5.19 seconds. A full 1 second ahead of Kodiak's qualifying time. The red headlights are on Gravedigger. He's ready. Mark Bendler is ready, and Kodiak on the green light. It is Gravedigger with a hole shot. Bendler right behind. Where's Kodiak going? Gravedigger wins it, but Kodiak headed for the wall. Kodiak's suspension gave way, and Dennis Anderson looks back and sees that Kodiak is in the wall. Bendler's okay. He's concerned about his truck. The ISO cam picks up the action on Kodiak over the set of cars. Now in no man's land, he builds up speed, approaches the ramp up and over the cars, and on the landing, the suspension gives way on the truck. The front suspension gives way. He has no way to turn it and heads to the wall. Meanwhile, Gravedigger is in the winner's circle. And it's just a ride into a wall for Kodiak. Dennis Anderson had a great run. He's got this track figured out. Gets plenty of air and a nice win for Gravedigger. Dennis Anderson, one of the crowd favorites, whips it around back into the pits and waves to the crowd as he goes past. Digger's coming back.
Kodiak, see how easy it is to make the papers? Spin out a bit, and you're famous. Too bad the price of fame, in this case, is your life.
Kodiak being towed into the pits, crashing's a way of life for these monsters. And Mark Bendler saw a rollover way back in New Orleans earlier this season. Tropical Thunder now going up against Equalizer. Neither of these guys have crashed yet this season. Let's hope they can keep it free today. Tropical Thunder is driven by Wayne Smolzanek. He qualified 8th today. And David Morris aboard the Equalizer, our 3rd fastest qualifier. Morris has been complaining of engine problems here in Pueblo.
All right, now listen up. I'm a little bit upset today, so Tropical Thunder, stay out of my way. You see, I've been getting some disturbing fan mail. Let me read you a couple of them. Well, here's one. Dear EQ, that's me. Please don't keep going and going and going. Signed, First Blood. Or how about this one? Equalizer. Your fashion stinks. Signed, Predator. Pretty funny from a guy with cat scratch fever and a bad hair day, huh? Well, go ahead and keep on writing in, losers, because I'm writing everyone off.
We're staged. Equalizer is 4-0 against Tropical Thunder this season. Can Thunder do it today? They start head-to-head, and now Equalizer starts to open it up. No way as Equalizer wins it again. Equalizer with the 5th win of the season against Tropical Thunder. Equalizer, Tropical Thunder looking very strong on the start, and then Equalizer opens it up during no man's land, gets lots of air, and a full 1 truck length lead over Tropical Thunder at the end. Jim Davidson's with our winner.
David, a nice run going up against Tropical Thunder. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I tried to go hard over the first set of cars there and see how it was going to work out. And I had good control on the other end, so it worked out great.
Well, I know you've been keeping your fingers crossed about a couple things back here. What's going on with the Equalizer Monster truck?
I'm not sure. I got a motor problem. I've either got an oil galley plug or something that's back vibrated loose. I'm losing oil pressure bad, and when I get to the end of the run, I actually have no oil pressure.
As far as the rest of today is concerned, you're going to be able to make it with that?
Well, until it quits, I'll be out there running.
Speaking of running, there's some running going on in the pits. Mark Bendler, after running into the wall, tries to get things fixed aboard Kodiak so he can come back for round number 2.
I'm still slaving in the kitchen, but this meal's gonna be worth it. I wonder if Julia Child started out this way.
It's almost time to see these monster hotshots in round 2. Let's take a look at who'll be waging war. We saw Pontiac trying to put the pieces together after his spin out in round 1. He'll need to get geared up in time for a rematch of his confrontation with Gravedigger. In another rematch, Predator's on the prowl to avenge his earlier loss to Barefoot. Taurus has his sights set on pulverizing Carolina Crusher, and Equalizer's David Morris will take on Ray Perkowski and the Invader. Ray Perkowski has definitely been living on the edge in 1993. The 9-year veteran has been racing the Invader harder than ever, and in the process has become one of the crowd's favorite trucks. Just one day after flipping over during a race in Oklahoma City, Ray and his wife, Cheryl, invited us to spend the day with them at their home just outside of St. Louis, Missouri.
It's the third time I rolled it. You know, you don't get hurt. The feeling would be like on a roller coaster. You're at the top, and there's nothing you can do because you're going to the bottom. You get like a knot in your stomach and a sigh of relief when it's over.
You swallow your heart. It's a scary feeling.
It's not really fun to roll, but the crowd likes it. Well, this is it. $50 part does $2,500 worth of damage to the truck. Well, now we can sell some souvenir parts and make a little extra money. Well, now we got the world's first monster truck convertible. You know, you worked 18 hours a day, 7 days a week to get the truck there. Now you're going to have to do it again to get the truck to the next race. So no more home life again for this week. Well, when I'm not racing, usually I'm at home with a towing company. I've been towing for about 10, 11 years on my own. It's great. It gets in your blood. And, I don't tow as much as I used to with the monster truck. I try to keep it down to maybe 1-2 days a week.
My role in the towing company is to basically make sure the towing company runs. I dispatch the tows out to the drivers. I take care of all the payroll, accounting, bookkeeping, all the good stuff that nobody else wants to take care of in a company.
Hey, what are you cooking for dinner tonight?
Nothing. We're not eating.
I just don't get to eat today, huh?
No, you have work to do.
Can I hit the ball or what?
We always have fun together. It's just finding the time to do it.
I always try to do my best to beat it. You got to on the male image. Look at that. Nice shot, lady. We just bought 4 acres with a house on it, and we're going to build us a nice shop out there. And we're not used to cutting grass, and now we got a lot of grass to cut. Living out here, it's kind of like country life. You got 4 acres to yourself, no neighbors to bother you. It gives you a nice peace of mind, just get out here and do nothing. You have a deadline, cut the grass by Friday, like you do to get a monster truck ready by the week. It's a dream come true for anybody to do what they want to do and have fun at it. If it wasn't worth it, I would have been out of it a long time ago.
And now Ray Perkowski has a chance to win at doing what he loves to do. Racing his monster truck as he goes against David Morris aboard Equalizer.
Never mind all that lousy fan mail. I taught Tropical Thunder a lethal lesson today. So I guess that makes me a teaching professor. A professor of pain, yeah!
Pain? The only thing I want to hear from you today is you begging for your pathetic life. I already made trouble out of Troublemaker, and now I'll rock your world!
Hey, Invader, could you please raise your hand if you want to say something while I'm teaching my class? Yeah.
Equalizer and Invader start off round number 2. And although they have met 4 times this year, with Equalizer winning 3 of those 4, that doesn't tell all the tale. Invader gets better and better. He defeated Equalizer last time these 2 guys met in a second round. And now, can David Morris, who's admittedly having oil pressure problems, take out Invader? On the start, they look pretty even. Equalizer powers up! Equalizer, where did he get the speed? He takes out Invader easily. And Equalizer proves that he still has a lot left.
Oh, yeah! My crash course on winning obviously didn't penetrate Invader's thick skull. But as we all know, when the noble truth is spoken, you have no choice but to listen. Metalhead, you're dead, baby. Teacher always knows best. Yeah!
The replay shows the problems with Invader. A lot of bounce off the first set of cars. He was out of shape as he approached the second set and went sideways. Equalizer, smooth sailing. Barefoot comes up to the line. The world champion, Fred Schaefer. His matchup against Alan Pizzo aboard the Predator. That race when Monster Wars continues. Pueblo, Colorado, this is going to be a matchup because Alan Pizzo aboard Predator has sworn to take out the world champion. Weighing in at a little over 10,000 pounds with 1,800 big horses, Chevrolet-powered is Predator. The Keith Black Hemi-powered Dodge Barefoot, the world champion with Fred Schaefer aboard, is his competition. And now they both ease up to the line. Wait for the green light. We go aboard Predator. On the start, over the cars. And Predator pops a wheelie, but he can't do it. Barefoot gets, I don't know where he gets this horsepower. He actually seems to go faster in midair. And Alan Pizzo is disappointed for the 6th time this year. He just can't beat Fred Schaefer and Barefoot.
What good is this lousy book anyway? I was better off using what I learned on the streets. Barefoot, next time, no book, only blood. And I'll make sure your blood stains the pages of Monster War history books forever!
Approaching the finish line, it was all Predator, and then Barefoot comes from behind. Fred Schaefer has patented this. In no man's land, he gets some speed up, and then right before he approaches the last ramp, he mashes the engine. It's a lot faster over the finish line. Predator, it just is not his day when he comes up against Barefoot. Our next matchup between Taurus and Carolina Crusher, a rematch of round number 1.
Howdy, howdy, ho! Howdy, howdy, ho! I'm crushing Crusher from head to toe. Woo-ha!
Man, what's a guy got to do to get away from all these pansies? I've got a cowboy I could break with one smack on this side and a bunch of losers on the other. Darn it, I want a real race now. I want a real race now, because I'm starving for victory. Yeah!
Yeesh! Who is this mama's boy anyway? You know what they say. The bigger they are, the bigger they fall.
Stop picking on me! Oh! Somebody stole my sandwich! Okay, who was it? Somebody's gonna pay! It was you, Taurus! Taurus! You're gonna pay! You're gonna pay! Taurus!
The Taurus Carolina Crusher controversy. Mike Peterson aboard Taurus and defeated Carolina Crusher in his first time ever in the truck. Gary Porter's truck weighing in at the minimum 10,000 pounds, 1,400 horses. Taurus, 10,000 pounds, 1,200 horses. And now, Mike Peterson looks over at Carolina Crusher. We're going to take you inside the Crusher and Gary Porter.
All right, here we going up for our rematch. We got to pull this one off. Each stage, I'm easing up to them. 3 stage.
A wild ride inside Carolina Crusher.
I think we got that one there.
Gary Porter does, in fact, defeat Taurus. And Carolina Crusher wanted it badly. He got a slight hole shot. Caught Peterson napping, and then just turned it on in no man's land. And a half a truck length for Carolina Crusher at the end. He moves on to our semifinals. Taurus comes around. He could not pull off 2 in a row.
You big baby! Here's your lousy sandwich. You might have beat me on this race, but I broke you down.
Too late, Taurus. Mama was so proud of me for kicking your height. She made me all these liver sandwiches. And now I'm full and happy. She also says that if I win in the finals, she'll take me out for some sushi. I just love those itty bitty little fishies.
Kodiak's due out for our next matchup. Mark Bendler's still working on the truck, and here comes USHRA official Glenn Cromwell with a message for him.
Mark, you got 3 minutes. We're going. Get it done, we'll be there.
All right. So Mark Bendler and Kodiak are on the clock. Can he make it in 3 minutes? We'll find out when Monster Wars return. When we went into the break, Mark Bendler and Kodiak were on the clock. They had 3 minutes to get Kodiak ready and at the line to race. Time's running out. Kodiak can't get going. That means Gravedigger will face Wayne Smozanik and Tropical Thunder. A tough break for Bendler, a good break for Wayne Smozanik, who's with Jim Davidson.
Wayne, a stroke of good fortune. Kodiak went into the wall. He's not coming back. You're going to replace him, but you're coming back against the Gravedigger. What are you going to have to do to beat him?
Well, Dennis is a good runner. I'm going to have to get off the line good, get in between the cars, get some power to the ground. Hopefully I get enough air like I did over you. I'll beat him.
Lucky break for Tropical Thunder. While we're waiting for him to come up to the line, we thought we'd give you a little lesson in how these monster tracks come to be. Here's everything you wanted to know about building a race course, but we're afraid to ask. Our expert is Randy Spraggins from Specialty Tracks of Akron, Ohio. He's got all the dirt on dirt tracks.
They call me the dirt guy. We build all types of tracks with dirt. We do dirt.
1, 2, 3.
That's what we do the best is go fast. We're quick in, quick out. The U.S. Hot Rod Association comes up with a format of a show, and then they put it all down on paper and hand it to me and tell me to build it. Building tracks gives me a challenge. Each week is a different situation, a different set of circumstances. You got different people, different weather. Somebody called me an adrenaline junkie not too long ago. They said I like the pressure. The biggest difficulty in building a track of this size is basically getting all your facets of the whole job to come together all at the same time. We'll have, 40 hours of building, but we're doing that in like a 2.5 days time span. For this type of track, I'm using approximately 2,000 yards of material to build. Basically what we have is 3 different types of race courses in here. I like to build my own tracks instead of telling people. I can do a lot of pointing and showing. It's almost easier if I just get on a machine myself and do it. And then there's that little bit of self-satisfaction in doing the job yourself, and you can say you did it. I like my tracks to be nice. I'll do everything in my power to make it right. If it's not done right, then I'm not happy.
Well, I don't envy Randy's job, that's for sure. He shows up to work at 6 a.m., finishes at 2 a.m. Always the first one there and the last one to leave? No thanks. But you know what? Randy probably is just about the most important guy in monster truck racing, because without him, the drivers wouldn't have a dirt track to tear up, cars to crush, or even a start and finish line. And what better way to show off Randy's art than to send you out to the next race? Joe Lowe, give us all the dirt.
Well, the dirt is that Mark Bendler could not get Kodiak fixed after hitting the wall. Tropical Thunder got to come back, and he's going up against the most feared monster truck in the world today, Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger. Gravedigger falling behind in points to the world champion Barefoot. He would love to get a win here against Tropical Thunder. Tropical Thunder weighing in at 10,300 pounds, 1,500 horsepower. The Gravedigger, 10,000 pounds, 1,435 horses. Now, Dennis Anderson sits up aboard Gravedigger. Wayne Smolzanek in Tropical Thunder. The green light. And a hole shot for Gravedigger. It's all Gravedigger! Tropical Thunder's only chance to defeat Digger would have been a great hole shot. He didn't get it. So Gravedigger moves on to the semifinals. Smolzanek loads himself up on the truck. He is out of there. And Gravedigger will be back.
Tropical Thunder made the obituaries, and I myself am closer to making the Monster War Gazette's front page. I can see it now. Extra, extra. Gravedigger kills all. Then they'll deliver the bad news to everyone. I wonder if Howard Hughes got started this way.
We haven't talked about the fact that we're 1 mile high, and these trucks really are searching for power. Gravedigger seems to have things dialed in. Smolzanek didn't, so Gravedigger gets the win. Simple as that. You gotta be set when you go up in the Rockies. Jim Davidson's in the pits with Digger.
Dennis, going into the semis, it's a matchup with you and Crusher, two North Carolina boys getting it on.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'd love to have those North Carolina finals. I'd rather get him in the finals, but hey, he's kind of fumbled his way back in the race here, but I guess you take him any way you can get him, and all I've got to do is just knock him down this round.
Oh, boy. Gary Porter doesn't think that's going to happen. That matchup between Digger and Crusher when Monster Wars return. Welcome back to Monster Wars. This is the semifinals, and you might as well call this a final as far as Gravedigger and Carolina Crusher are concerned. These two are gonna go at it, head to head, tire to tire, bumper to bumper. Let's compare these two. Carolina Crusher, average time on this track, 5.47. Gravedigger, average time, 5.42. 0.05 of a second faster for Gravedigger. But can he do it again as he goes against Carolina Crusher? It's been 7 weeks since Crusher's been able to defeat Gravedigger in a head-to-head, toe-to-toe matchup. And now, inside Carolina Crusher on the start. A lot of bouncing. Oh, I thought Carolina Crusher was going to do it, but Digger took him out. Gravedigger wins a very close matchup between Crusher and Digger.
Crusher, I think they misspelled your name a bit here on death row. But you know my motto. It doesn't matter how you spell it, as long as you get the name right.
In one of those patented barefoot moves, it was Gravedigger coming from behind to defeat Carolina Crusher. On the start, both trucks looked good. Actually, Crusher had a slight edge, and then it was all Digger as he powers up and over the finish line. Jim Davidson's with our winner, Dennis Anderson, in the Gravedigger pits.
Dennis, it looked like Gary got the whole shot on you, but you come out with the victory. What are you thinking right off the line?
Well, you know, I was going to cut a real good light. I got thinking about the light so hard, I didn't want a red light because I've been known to do that before. So I kind of hesitated at the line, and man, once the light went down, before I could get the truck to move, the light was green, and I just had to hammer on the motor, man, and just try to get him in the end.
Who will face Gravedigger in the finals? It may be Equalizer. He's got to come out and go past the world champion, Fred Schaefer, in the Barefoot Dodge. Both trucks, no strangers to this track here in Pueblo. Fred Schaefer aboard Barefoot, checks to make sure everything's all right. Equalizer driven by David Morris. The average time, 5.14 seconds on this track to Barefoot's 5.36 seconds. Equalizer quite a bit faster than Barefoot so far today. And the question on everybody's mind is, can Barefoot defeat Equalizer?
Well, now, I'm the ultimate professor. I teach by example, and Barefoot, I'm gonna teach you a lesson in life and death when you show up. Be prepared to fail. And by the way, bring me an apple. Yeah!
They come to the line. Equalizer and Barefoot. Chevy against Dodge. The world champion against the former world champion. And Morris would love to have that title back. Wait for the green light. They rev up. A hole shot for Barefoot. He pops a wheelie in no man's land. A wheelie down the track for Barefoot, and he wins it. An incredible run for the world champion. And David Morris just didn't have a prayer. Dodge took it down the track. Your winner, Barefoot, with a wheelie. Watch this. He powers up, and the front tires never touch the dirt till the finish line. That's not racing, that's flying for Barefoot. From the front, let's see what a wheelie looks like. Nothing but clear Colorado sky. And Equalizer is out for the day.
Holy guacamole! Barefoot really blew my mind and passed this professor up. But I gotta give him credit. He put on one heck of a show. Too bad his cockiness will eventually get him into trouble, because class hotshots always finish last.
Barefoot and Gravedigger, number 1 and 2 in points, are in our final when Monster Wars continues. This red-hot home video is revved up with the most fantastic flips, crashes, thrills, and spills. It's the biggest, baddest video ever, featuring the roughest, toughest motorsports on Earth. Call now. Exclusive footage never before seen. World record-setting jumps, eye-shocking crashes and smashes. So call now, and we'll rush Monster Wars' greatest hit home video to you. Call now. We've reached the finals, and if you had to write a script, you couldn't have written a better one than this. Gravedigger and Barefoot, the number 1 and 2 truck in the nation, prepared to go at it. 17 points separate these two going into the final.
How do I look? It's the good life for me, right after this win. Maybe a trip to the Bermuda Triangle. I've become such a celebrity, I'll probably get recognized wherever I go.
They pull up to the starting line, Barefoot and Gravedigger, two great trucks. How did they get here today? Well, it was not an easy road to hoe. Gravedigger took out Pontiac, Tropical Thunder, and then Carolina Crusher. Barefoot had to race Predator in round 1 and 2 and finally defeated Equalizer in our 3rd round. And now, the world champion, Fred Schaefer, goes against the Gravedigger. Never before has Gravedigger had a world championship. He wants it in 1993. And the man that stands in his way is Fred Schaefer and Barefoot. On the start, both trucks look strong. Barefoot wins it! Barefoot wins it! Incredible race for Barefoot. Where he gets the power of this big Dodge, I don't know, but he just defeated Gravedigger handily here in Pueblo, Colorado, and a very dejected Gravedigger goes to the pits.
Scrap the front page. Scrap Barefoot. Heck, in fact, scrap the whole darn race. Me and my friends are taking a trip with or without the win. We're out of here. See ya.
Barefoot's win puts him ever closer to another world championship. The margin of victory, half a truck length for Barefoot. On the start, Barefoot with a slight hole shot. He gets in no man's land, then it's goodbye, Digger. Here comes our winner, Fred Schaefer and Barefoot.
Fred, man. Fred, Kathy. Fred, a great job. Tell me about that run against Digger, though.
Well, you know how hard Digger's running? Is all I did is I got over that hill and I pushed that thing to the floor and let that big Dodge motor do all the work. mean, I just held it down, straight, crooked. It don't make no difference. I just held it to the floor and see how it comes out. That's what I did.
Well, you know what these folks don't get to see is the games you play back in the pit. You never start that thing up until you see Digger on his way out to the track.
That's right. We're running the dry block here, and it's overheating a little bit, and we have to, you know, take every precaution we can.
All right, man. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Kathy, congratulations.
Another crucial win for Barefoot cements his lead in the Monster Wars point standings. As you know, the U.S. Hot Rod Association holds dozens of events throughout the country during the season. We only showed you a fraction of those races on Monster Wars. Next week, we'll adjust the scores to reflect all those other races. Will Barefoot still maintain his lead? You're going to have to tune in and find out. In just 7 days, we return to the birthplace of monster truck racing, Pontiac, Michigan, for our Monster Wars finals, so don't miss it. For Joe Lowe and Jim Davidson, I'm Lou Ann Lee, and we'll see you then.
Promotional consideration provided by...
From Eastpak. But not...